In this video, I'm going to teach you how to do a side plank with what I call hip dips. Now planks and side planks are super popular core exercises, and they do have some value, but I think that the trend to kind of hold them for 2, 3, 4, 10 minutes is kind of a little bit misguided and a bit of a waste of time. I am a big fan of keeping it really dynamic and making the exercise more difficult over a shorter period of time rather than spending your entire life in a plank. So in this variation, we're going to add in some dips of the hip, like dipping the hip down towards the floor, which will make it much more challenging. If you've already built up to 30-40 seconds in a side plank, there's really very little point continuing to just hold it forever and ever and ever. Let's just make it harder, get the work done in 10-15 seconds. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to come into a high plank first of all, with our hand on the floor and our shoulder directly over the hand. Now you might ask, why not do it on your elbow? You can do it on your elbow. It doesn't really matter. I'm a big fan of doing it up on the hand because then you strengthen the hand, the elbow, the shoulder, you get everything in there. Mums have really weak wrists, and I want to help you keep those strong. So if you can go up on your hand, do it up on your hands. But if your wrists are really sore, then keep it down on your elbow. So I'm going to show you how to do it on your hand first, and I'm going to show you how to do it on the elbow afterwards. It really doesn't matter. But if your wrists are really hurting, then you'll obviously want to keep it down on your elbow. Also, being up on your hand requires a lot more balance, which I like, but again, it's like pros and cons. There's not a better way of doing it. So if we are up on our hand, we want to get our shoulder directly over that hand, and then we want to stack our feet one on top of the other. And we want a straight line from the shoulder down to the feet. From here, we're going to dip our hips as far down as we can towards the floor. Notice how much range of motion I'm getting here. I'm bending a little bit at the hip, and then press all the way back up into this plank position. Okay, straight line, no bending. Okay, so there's a really long way to go to get down to the floor when you're up on that hand, and it's really challenging. Okay, that's why I like that variation. But if it's too much, if it's just way too much for your wrist, or if the range of motion is too much, we can bring it down to elbows. So again, if you can, one foot stacked on top of the other. Elbow directly underneath your shoulder, and no, we don't want it over here, okay? No bueno, directly under your shoulder, and from here we're going to dip down towards the floor and back up, okay? Nice, slow and controlled down towards the floor, and then as fast as you can back up. Nice and controlled down towards the floor, touch the floor with your hip, kiss the floor with your hip, and drive back up, okay? Find that nice plank position each time. So the elbow variation is quite a bit easier than the hand variation, but do whatever's right for you. That was a side plank with a hip dip.